Let me be clear, every kitchen layout can be functional. It just has to be thought about and planned for. Hey, I'm Mark. Welcome to my new series, The 3 Pillars of Great Kitchen Planning. This is a 3-part look at what you should be planning for in your new kitchen renovation. Today's video is all about workflow and functionality. It is one of the main pillars that all great kitchens rest upon. Workflow is all about convenience. If your kitchen is not designed in a functional manner, it will not be an enjoyable experience for you. And you want your kitchen to be the most pleasant place to be in because let's face it, we spend a lot of time in our kitchens. I don't know about you, but me and my wife Amy have 3 kids and we are constantly in this little kitchen of ours baking and making and cooking and cleaning and doing all the things kitchen related, and our kitchen needs to be designed functionally so that we enjoy this experience. So let's talk about how workflow can affect your kitchen and your experience. So we need to think of our kitchen in terms of zones. There's 5 main zones that every kitchen has to plan for and every kitchen design has to account for. Those 5 zones are cleaning, cooking, meal prep, storage of consumables, and storage of non-consumables. All right, let's talk about cleaning. Let's get that one out of the way because let's face it, the last thing we do in the kitchen is cleaning. We just want to get out of there. But it's a necessary part of all kitchen spaces. Every single day, we're doing dishes, we're cleaning things, it's recurring all the time. That means that that function, that workflow, needs to be designed properly. Your dishwasher, if you have one, should be next to your sink, or at least adjacent to your sink cabinet, so that when you are working, loading your dishwasher, doing your dishes, putting away dishes, you're not walking all over your kitchen trying to get to and from your dishwasher, to and from your sink, to where things need to be stored. So the locations of things need to be designed in such a way that they're functional for you. Now you might be into a design and you might like the idea of, hey, let's have my dishwasher in my island. Well, that could be a great idea, but if your island is far away from your sink, that's not gonna work. If you can, you need to put that dishwasher in close proximity to your sink cabinet. You'll thank yourself later because you're not walking around your kitchen with soapy dishes or wet dishes and stuff's dripping all over the floor. It just makes things that much easier. Let's talk about sinks for a minute. It's absolutely essential that you have a very functional sink. I believe the most functional type of sink is a large single 1-basin sink. Biggest you can fit. You won't regret having a massive, large single sink. And here's why. Have you ever tried with a double sink with a divider or a sink and a half or even a small single? Have you tried to put a roaster in there? Have you tried to put a full cookie sheet pan or tray in there? Have you tried to put a frying pan and wash a frying pan or soak a frying pan? It can become so frustrating because it's in this way and that way and the handle's sticking out and you're trying to, listen, do yourself a favor. Get yourself a large single sink. It's so functional, it's beautiful. Now, under your sink is another very important aspect of the cleaning zone of your kitchen. You don't want to have everything just jammed underneath that sink cabinet. Find a way, ask your planner, ask your designer, listen, is there some way we can incorporate some kind of pull-out system to organize all the cleaning supplies and all the stuff that gets jammed under my sink cabinet? I'm going to guarantee you this, at some point in your lifetime, and probably numerous times, you're going to open that sink cabinet and one of your cleaning supplies didn't have the lid on properly and it's spilled everywhere and it's eaten through the melamine base of your cabinet, or it's just discolored the inside. It's brutal to clean up. You got to get in there. It's going to happen. If you have some way of organizing that, some way of making that accessible for you to get at, you will thank yourself in years to come and your back will thank you. Cleaning is something that happens recurring daily, multiple times a day in my home. We want to make the cleaning experience as joyful as possible, as easy as possible, because I don't know about you, but I just want to get through the dishes so I can get on to other stuff. All right, the number 2 zone is the storage of non-consumables. What are non-consumables? They are your plates and your bowls, Tupperware, cooking utensils, pots and your pans, and all the things that you use on a daily basis. The workflow associated with the non-consumables, okay, the things that are going to be put away every single day into your kitchen, has to work for you. Here's a few tips on getting the most out of your storage. Pull-outs, pull-outs, pull-outs. Everywhere that you can put something that's functionally accessible that you can pull out, everywhere you can have drawers and pull-out shelves, the better it's going to be for you. If you're in the process of planning a kitchen project, make sure you talk to your designer and make sure they know that you need to have pullouts everywhere. Don't assume that they're going to do that for you. Many times when you walk into a kitchen dealer or a big box store that's selling you a kitchen, they're trying to sell you a product and they want the price point to be right. This is the stuff that can get left out. They want you to see a good price, so you'll go for that product. I'm telling you this because that was my world for almost 20 years. And it got to the point where I realized every kitchen needs to have pullouts. Every kitchen needs to be accessible. And if that means that I lose a sale because the price point seems to be a bit high, then that's fine. I would rather you not buy my product, go somewhere else, than get my product, have it looking beautiful, but not functional. To me, that is such a waste of time and your money. And so make sure if you're planning this with somebody, with a designer specifically, that you tell them, listen, I want this to be ergonomically correct. I don't want my back to be sore after a month of digging through my cabinets trying to get access to stuff. So make sure you mention, listen, I want pullouts everywhere. There are solutions for everything kitchen related. Will this drive the price of your kitchen up? Yeah, it's going to. But on the flip side of that, you need to put the money in to what you're going to get the most value out of. If it's a choice between a door style that is expensive or functionality, please go for functionality every time. Because there's no point in having a beautiful kitchen that you hate being in because you can't work in it. One of the things I recommend you get are one of these. This is a simple rack for storing plates or bowls. It's easy to deal with, they don't fall out. Pick it up, put it in. We keep all our bowls and plates in a drawer because it's the most accessible, not reaching for them, they're not falling out, the kids have access to it. These are the little things that are so easy to find, that aren't overly expensive, that will add to the workflow and the accessibility of your kitchen. Okay, moving on to number 3. The number 3 zone of your kitchen is the storage of consumable products. Things that you eat, things that are stored but they have a shelf life. So this includes your fridge, and this includes where all your food is stored. Now I suggest, if possible, in any kitchen, that you somehow work into that a pantry cabinet of some shape or form. For a kitchen to be functional, food can't be stored over here, and over here, and over here, and some things over here. Make sure that your fridge and your pantry unit and your food storage is all in one zone, all easily accessible, and you're not walking all over the kitchen trying to find that thing that you need. The cereal's over here and the fridge is way over there. Plan it in such a way that it's together. Let's talk about number 4 zone, food prep. This might be prepping for a meal. It could be prepping lunches for the week. It could be baking for a party. All those things that are necessary that we do all the time. You need to have workable space that you can move your elbows, not be jammed into a corner, but you have some type of space where you can just lay everything out. When we come home from the grocery store, everything gets laid out on our island and we just put everything away, and then we put all the stuff on there for the kids' lunches, and it's just a great space for us to be able to prep everything, either for cooking the night's meal or for getting stuff ready for the next day. It's absolutely vital that you think about what kind of space you're gonna have for that. You don't wanna have some stuff here and some stuff over here and you're prepping something over there. Everything needs to be in one zone. You have a cooking zone and a cleaning zone. You have storage zones. You need to have a zone that's dedicated to one of the most important tasks, and that's getting ready and getting meals ready. One of the questions any qualified designer should be asking you is, where are you going to prep all your food? And if they're not asking you that, you need to think to yourself, why aren't they asking me this? When you are considering your new kitchen design, and if possible, you can have some kind of island or peninsula workstation, go for that option. Having an island is a great addition to any kitchen. Sometimes you can buy island carts or something that you can roll around, something that aids you in giving you a little extra surface. Like, we always are looking for some extra surface. And it's important that you design that into the kitchen. Make sure that you understand that no matter what kind of kitchen you have now, when we redesign that space, we can redesign it to get the most out of that space possible. Okay, number 5 on our list of zones that we need to plan for is really the the thing we come to the kitchen for. Everything else is kind of necessary to get to this one thing, and that's the cooking. We cook in our kitchen. That's what they're for. They're not just beautiful pieces of art, although they can be. They're not just things that are nice to look at, although they should be. They need to be for a specific purpose, and that purpose is for cooking. With that said, make sure that the cooking zone of your kitchen is designed in such a way that cooking is a pleasurable experience. There's a few different things to consider when talking about cooking. The first two are your range cooktop and your oven. You need to decide whether or not you are going to have or have the space for a wall oven unit so that everything is, at an accessible level for you and your comfort zone. You need to have a cooktop that has space on either side, counter space on either side of that, and there's some minimums that you should be looking at, but you need to have a little bit of counter space on either side of that cooktop for pot handles and for moving things around and just having space. You don't want your range, your stove, to be jammed into a corner against a wall with only a little bit of counter space. Plan, if possible, to have the most amount of counter space around your range. If you don't have the room for a wall oven and a cooktop and you have to go with just one range, make sure that it's placed in such a way that you do have accessibility on either side. All of these zones are important and they need to be balanced according to your needs in your kitchen. You don't want to be working in your kitchen, you want your kitchen to work for you. And so if it is designed for you, that's very, very, very important. Thank you for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and stay tuned for next week's video where we talk about the second pillar of great kitchen planning.